I'm just sat here reminiscing. It's a lovely sunny day, 23 degrees now. It's cold at night, but that's fine. I'm just sat outside for a change, listening to the cock crow over there, just sat here with my thoughts. I had an encounter with the demon hairdresser of Kazarovitz. She shove straight down on my beard. Leave me alone, leave me alone. I think she got a downer on people's beards. Anyway, seriously, I'm sat here. I'm comfortable. I need to do a lot of cleaning up and tidying up, but what the hell. I'm just relaxing. So I come back to the 1950s when I was in Grimsby as a child, born in Crofts Baker, nurse, maternity hospital in Cleethorpes. It's no longer there now. They've named the maternity ward in Nunsthorpe in Grimsby Crofts Baker, but the original Crofts Baker was a much older building, and it's gone now, like many things. Anyway, many things have gone. I'm 74 years of age, so much water has passed through this bitch, and I hope a bloody hell of a lot more water will pass under it, but you can't guarantee that, so I'm putting this down. Anyway, so, well, I got another thing I mentioned, my Aunt Vera who lived down the alley, poor soul, and this was when it's 779 Thorold Street in Grimsby as a child. First memories there. My younger brothers were not born then, that's what I'm talking about. So, these sorts of things happened. I'm told, I don't remember this, about my father decided to do some decorating in the living room. But he had a scullery, it's like a black range, coal range. They had I'd say a scullery off where we did the cooking on. My mum had this ancient gas stove. I'm sure it was from Victorian times. I don't know how he got hold of that, but you had a tin bath in front of the range, and the bath was hung up outside when it wasn't in use. But the front room was always the best room. You didn't use that except on occasions and weddings, funerals, whatever it was. But I'm talking about this. My father, I think my grandfather was alive, so I'm told then. I can't remember much about him, but anyway. My father decided to do some decorating. He'd decided he'd had enough, so he went to the Pigeon Club round the corner in Rutland Street. But there he was. He left the lids off the pots of paint. And guess who decided to help him out? I was only a toddler, basically. I'm under 5, so I was really a toddler then. So apparently, I got the pots of paint, decided to decorate the front room myself. So I painted the walls with the paint around the furniture, around and round the furniture, and things like that. Well, when my father came home, he went berserk. I'm told my grandfather checked him, said, "Look, it's your fault. You should have left the paint tins open. You should have done that. You should have finished the job before you went out. He's only a toddler. He doesn't understand." So my father had a temper, a big temper. He'd lose it at a drop of a hat. So trait that I think I inherited. I managed to master it a lot nowadays. But yeah, he had a nasty temper. But my grandfather put him in check about that. But he certainly didn't leave pots of paint open around me. Not ever after that. Mind you, he never bloody decorated. Mum did it. Oh dear. But used to get visitors My mother had several sisters and a couple of brothers. My uncle Lewis, he lived over in Bilston in Staffordshire. My uncle Sid Owen, he died, but he was a seaman, but he died. And there's my Aunt Aunt Veen, Aunt Doll. There's Aunt Dora, the youngest. She was my godmother. She was but the youngest of the family. And I loved Aunt Dora. She was my godmother, and when we moved over to Wolverhampton, Wensfield actually, we'd always go back to Grimsby. I would always stop with my Aunt Dora, my cousin Trevor, Lynn, Patricia, but I always used to stop with my cousin Trevor and that. But my Aunt Dora was there. She made this chocolate cake and things like that. I loved it. But lovely woman. When she died, I couldn't go to her funeral. I never went. Never went to the graveside. I couldn't go. My reason is quite simple. I can always remember my godmother, my Aunt Dora, who I loved a lot. I only remember her alive. I don't remember it at a graveside. I don't remember in a coffin. I don't remember all of that. I remember the lively woman that she was and is in my mind. That's why I never went to my Aunt Dora's funeral. Never went. Because I remember her as I loved her, alive. Anyway, come back to things now. In Thorold Street, there's I called her, we called her, she was, I'll put it, oh dear me, my Alzheimer's kicking in, I can't remember her name now. Mary, that's it, Mary Cobley. Now, she was a hard woman in her own way. Always wore a turban, a pinny and apron, and that. And she was what they call a herring washer. Now, that always means, as the fishing fleet went around Britain, catching the herrings and that, they had these women, when you landed it, used to be vats of water and that, they used to scrub and wash the herring right, ready for sale, you know. So she was herring washing, that's what she did. But she always worked on the, and to believe me, the fish docks were no comfortable place to work. It was cold, it was hard work, and early hours, and things like long hours as well. But she was a hard woman. But she used to come round, stick herself in front of the range with the coal fire, and she's up her skirt at the back and shove her arse out to warm her ass from the range and that. Now, one of the fascinating things about Aunt Mary, she always had a cigarette in her mouth, and it would burn down, you know, not the ash, and she'd have this long trail of ash embers burning into the cigarette, and she'd be talking, it'd be waggling. I never once saw that ash break and fall. Never, not once. And it's fascinating to watch this cigarette, and it would go, never went once with this ash drop and fall. Dear me. Oh dear. Those are the days when people seem to have character in those days. I don't know why. Perhaps people have character nowadays, but I don't see it as much. But Mary Cobley, Cobley was a recent name. I think she'd borne out 3 husbands. I'm not sure about that. But we used to call her Aunt Mary. I don't know what her relationship was with the family really, but there again, we always call her Auntie Mary. There was 2 doors away. There was Mrs. Cook. She had 2 daughters, Lorraine and Judy. Lorraine was older than me, and Judy was younger. But we used to play in the alley, because it's like an 8-foot alley. down the side of the house. Had this big building which, I don't know, was some sort of garage or something like that. It was huge. But you were just out of the way. That's and they explained me Aunt Vera, she had this dog called Nigger. You don't hear that name nowadays. But anyway, she had this dog called Nigger, black dog who was in that. Well, my dog, Simba, the collie dog, I say my dog, the family dog, he's always from me. They hated each other with a vengeance. And quite often you see them two really going a savage fighting in the alley. Ah, right, how do you mean? Oh, God. That was a regular occurrence. What do you mean? There's really a blood match between them. Never mind. I don't know how they parted them, but they certainly as soon as they spotted each other, they would at it hammer and tong. But Dad used to keep pigeons as well. It's only a small yard at the back, but at the bottom we used to keep pigeons. Only about 30, 35 feet or something. Anyway, it wasn't a great big one. But one of the memories in that, I distinctly remember a cat had got into the pigeons and it killed the lot, absolutely killed the lot. There's shredded them heads off and all sorts. I never ever forgot that. And I disliked cats with a vengeance for a long time after that. No, I've got a cat now, but you know, just one of the very early childhood memories and that. Oh dear, it's a really distressing thing. But anyway, used to have this Pekingese, call it Wendy, I think. And it was always Simba used to have a bad leg because he'd broken his leg and that, and so this bloody Pekingese was always snapping at Simba's leg. Horrible little thing. I'm told it used to dance. I don't know what they mean by that, but I really dislike. I still don't like Pekingeses by any stretch of the imagination. You know, just because of this little nasty little bloody Pekingese. But there again, they seem to be Pekingese. Years later, when I was working on the council and that, there were stand downs, and he's one of the few black guys, a black family in Grimsby at that time. And I worked with him on the council and that, but his mother had a Pekingese and it grabbed him by his ear and it was hanging off his ear, this bloody Pekingese dog. He wouldn't let go. Nasty bloody things. I don't know. I'm rambling on. I don't know, memories. But I don't know. Anyway, I'll get off because I want to do some other things now. So I might have a few more rambles and things like that in future. See what happens. So take care of yourself. Bye for now. Bye bye.